up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It's your main man, Juggernaut. Multi-platinum production team, Arkatech Beatz. Shout out to everybody jumping into the live. Welcome to the live music review. Yes, I did see it, Jay. I'm gonna hit you up offline. Shout out to my man Coach Jay, NYC. Down Flight, what up? Welcome to the music review live stream series. I'm your host, Juggernaut of Multi-Platinum Production Team, Arkatech Beatz. If this is your first time here, make sure you like, commenting, and subscribing. We are responsible for producing for your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. Big Pun, Nas, Prodigy, and Mobb Deep, Jadakiss, The Game, Raekwon the Chef, Lloyd Banks, Max B, French Montana, Alley Boy the Don, rest in peace. Shorty Low, Waka Flocka Flame. Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live. Welcome to the music review live stream series. Like I said, I'm your host, Juggernaut of Multi-Platinum Production Team, Arkatech Beatz. Shout out to my partner, Mike Trauma D. This is the place where people come to have their music listened to, for me to give them professional feedback, for me to tell them exactly how we can get their music better and ready for commercial viability. And we're helping producers and artists all at the same time, all genres. We're listening to everything, and we're basically giving folks a heads up on what to do and how to get better, how to improve, how to take your music game to the next level. Make sure that you are submitting your music through the link that's on the screen. We are moving today courtesy of SoundSurge. As you're not familiar with SoundSurge, SoundSurge is the new music discovery platform for independent artists and producers. Make sure that you are submitting your music there, even if you're not getting it reviewed. Make sure you're submitting your songs if it's been released, so that you can have your music discovered by people like you, independent artists, new people who are listening to new music, and finding out where the diamonds and the roughs are. Make sure y'all are checking that out, putting that link into the description so heads could find that where that is at. You know what I'm saying? It's a new platform, so I want folks to realize that, hey, man, you need traffic for your music. This is the best place to that I'm seeing that's going to be able to work for it. Shout out to my folks that are in my Future Producer Society from school.com. There we are teaching the music business. Make sure folks are realizing how to learn how to do music production. At the same time, learn music publishing, copyright, and everything in between. I'm teaching everything with all my experience in the music business. Make sure you're jumping into that. It's free to join. We're about to jump into some music. If you haven't already done so, haven't already submitted your music, make sure you're submitting your music so that we can take a listen to it. For those who have already submitted their music into the Nero side, shout out to those folks who are submitting into there. We have taken a total of 1,890 submissions. It's definitely a lot of songs that have been submitted here. We have listened to well over 800 songs, And listen, man, this is just what we're doing. We're listening to folks' music. We're trying to get folks to get better. We're trying to get folks to learn this music business and everything in between. So I'm going to listen to this first joint. It's called Get Back by the Narcs. We're going to take a listen to it and see how it sounds like. I feel like this joint has a decent I feel like it has a decent groove to it, you know what I'm saying, in terms of the way where the guitar is and where the kick drum is. I have a little bit of an issue with the snare. I don't know if it's too loud or if it's the wrong snare, but those things can kind of probably be dealt with in the mix. I probably mix a little bit better. I feel like it needs a bass line, because I know we have the 808, but something to go along with the guitar, to just so it doesn't feel so thin. Right, or something that's like a lower octave piano that can help to follow and accentuate where the loop is for the guitar. The other main thing, the other thing that I would say is that we need to make sure that we have this record is being sequenced the right way. And remember what I'm telling folks about my recommended song structure. For those who are not familiar with what we're doing over in our Future Producer Society, this is what we're kind of teaching over there, showing folks how to have appropriate song structure. And I'm always telling folks, hey, start off your beats or your songs, 4-bar intros, 8-bar hooks, right? The 4-bar intro is for you to set the scene of the record. This is where the record is getting ready to start off. You kind of want to do all of anything that you want to do to kind of build up your record. You want to do it within a 4-bar cadence, right? The hook is the hook is where the money is at. So we're going to use that for 8 bars to grab the attention. We want to put that in the front, right? As we go into the verse, of course, that's going to tell a story. And then as we go back into the mini verse, which will be 4 bars, it'll be a short shift. And then we're going to go back into the hook at 8. And then we'll rinse and repeat that. And the reason why we use this kind of structure, man, is so that we can kind of keep folks engaged in our record, man. Like, that's the main thing for us. It's like, can we keep the listener engaged? Can we keep folks wanting to hear what we got going on with this record? It's the same thing for the beat. We have to kind of create some sort of predictability for the artist to be able to write to, for the artist to be able to structure their songs. If you don't structure your beat the way that it needs to be structured in the beginning, it makes it so much more difficult for the artist to follow the right strong structure as well. Remember, for a lot of you guys, you're sending your beats in via email. A lot of you guys do not have access to the artist that you're sending your music to. So in the cases where you're not able to sit in the room with the artist, you're trying to control as much of the output of the song as possible, right? So that way you can control where the artist is going to put the hook, where the artist is going to put the verses, how long the hooks are actually going to be, how long the verses are actually going to be. You have to curate all of those things. You kind of have to set those templates and guideposts for the artist. And the more that you can do here, the more that you can kind of guarantee yourself a better record, right? To help yourself get to a record that's going to have maybe a little bit more potential to be a takeoff record because of the simple fact that you put the hook in the right place, right? Some people don't really think about it that way. It's very nuanced. If you don't set up your record from the beginning, sometimes artists will take it and they'll run amok. Yeah, you can't split. You gotta make sure that you got these tracks. You gotta try to make it as cohesive as possible. And what we're trying to avoid is, like, we're trying to not leave it up to the artist. If you cannot be in the room with the artist to say, yo, the hook gotta go here, you have to set up the beat in a way where it's almost clear as day. You gotta kind of make it dummy proof. And I hate to say it that way, but it is the best way to really it's the best way to really to explain it, is that you're trying to make it dummy proof. You're trying to make it into a way where the artist can't mess it up, right? Because I feel like he got the right kick. You got a nice lead right here. I feel like if we had like a piano, right, to go along with the guitar, it will help to fill the track out. Because to a degree it feels empty. Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live. And that shout out to Narcs. That record is called Get Back. Shout out to him. I got a sample from Splice that kind of sits with it. Yeah. Listen, Splice is what we're using as well. If y'all do not know, we are Splice brand ambassadors. You've probably seen me in one of those commercials every now and again on how we use Splice samples. It's wild to see yourself sometimes. Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live. This joint is called Death by Glamour by Toby Fox. Not like a video game. Does anybody know this? This is Undertale soundtrack. Is this a video game of some sort? Shout out to Cast Productions, man. What's up, bro? How you been? Yeah, I don't really have too much for this one. This one sound like it's like part of a soundtrack to a kids game or something like that. It looked like it was released in 2016, so I'm not going to really put too much sauce on that one. Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live. You know what I'm saying? I was having a conversation earlier with an artist, and we were just talking about, you know, trying to get stuff out. You know, I think there was like we were having like a conversation as it relates to, you know, I got music, I got good dope music, but I don't want to release the music because I don't have a fan base. But it was like, well, we gotta build a fan base, and we can't build a fan base without putting out the music. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like putting the chicken before the egg. You know what I mean? Like, you know, what comes first? You know, we have to be willing to put something out in order to help build the audience that we're trying to grow, right? It's a new day, man. Like, you know, it's like, you know, we got to kind of get past the, you know, the whole antiquated rollout of things. Those days are kind of gone, man. We gotta put stuff out. We gotta be live. We gotta continue to drop content. We gotta continue to, just do different things to get in front of people. Whether it be articles, etc. Like all the things that folks don't think work still, they all kind of still work. You just got to get in front of as many people as humanly possible as you can. And I think that is part of the overarching game. This record is called Consequence by, who's this by? ISO BK. You listen to this. This record is not here, so it's gone. Nova, what's up? Thanks for joining. F is You Doing by Last Day Here.
Yo, you better turn me up. Yo, you know what the fuck going on? Stop playing, nigga. What the fuck you doing with me? Yo, the fuck you doing with me? The fuck you doing with Twin? It was just me and my bro on the block, bro. They really too locked in. I feel like step with the 3 when I step with the G, I be too clocked in. Yo, I'm under the bitch and I ain't even 20. I never hit 2 times 10. Yo, pouring no syrup, I'm pouring no gin.
You should have repeated the hook right there. What are you doing? This is overloading, so this is mixed very terribly. So let me just tell you guys that from the gate that this is a bad mix. It's overloading. We've got digital noise. We got a few things going on here. I want to just kind of take a listen to the first verse, see where it's going, and then we'll give some feedback.
Ain't not my friends. How the fuck you snaking the snake? You know I was too climbed in. She see the black truck, got her a nigga at home and still climbed in. I cannot deal with no hoe on the real. I don't know she thought fuck. I cannot deal with no hoe on the real. I don't know what she thought I did. Yeah, I might go hit me a vape, but she know that I can't never light no seed. Yo, she wanna fuck cause I got me some buzz, so they know who the fuck I is. Yo, we on that shit, keep you up all night. Fuck D riding off in the bin. Yo.
Okay, so what's happening here is one, like I said, is totally definitely overloading, right? Musically, I had to turn it down so that it doesn't sound like it's actually peaking, so I turned it down a little bit over here. And this flow is bad, right? So meaning like it doesn't go with the beat. So he's actually going, but he's not setting himself up in a way where, he should be actually, he's not on the beat like he should be, quite frankly. You know what I'm saying? If I'm keeping it a brick, he's not doing what he needs to do on that. So shout out to him, you know what I'm saying, for submitting. This is one of those things, I guess. I'm gonna take a listen to this next joint. It's called Fountain. Well, let me jump over here real quick. Tokyo by is that Nocturne? Let's take a listen to that. Shout out to Nocturne on this one. This beat is, it's ringing, like, in terms of it's overloading, and it's overloading in such a way that I can't really describe. But it's definitely overloading, sounding a particular type of way. Shout out to him on doing that. It's also like 3 beats in one. Gotta help me with that. Like 3 or 4 beats in one. We're trying to see why there's so many switch ups and stuff in it. We gotta try to figure out how we can kind of keep it in the same song structure. Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live. Shout out to my guy Dave Martin. My guy David Martin in the building. What up? Shout out to everybody jumping into the live. Oh, that's interesting. Anyway. We're going to jump into this next joint. It's called Fountain.
Hits.
Yeah. Top rapper, man, in Niagara Falls, man. You ain't heard that new song? Come on, man, you're joking, bro. How the hell you don't know YouTube?
Saturday, I'm all alone. Some say I'm doing too much. I remember we was in cuffs. Knew you only here for the love. These niggas really suck stupid. I'ma just stick to the code. They're like, what if you never go platinum? Fucking I'm still go gold. And if niggas really think I'm that though, try me, I'ma send your ass home. Haven't really run back for their backup. You niggas ain't really no threats. If you want war, then bait. Down shoes matching my sweats. Tell them hoes watch they slip. I can't really take risks, cause me and my niggas up next. Lucha so good it don't lick. Been through hell and back. She don't love me, she love Rex. But damn, I already knew that. They ain't really riding like that. That's why I gotta fall back. That's why I gotta get Rex. Can't put myself in no trick. Saturday, I'm all alone.
Shout out to this is called his name Akeem. I don't know if anybody's paying attention. Shout out to my folks that's in my Future Producer Society. This is another one of these records, right, where I feel like the record is okay, right? I don't feel like there's anything really like inherently bad about the record per se. But I think what's standing out to me, and maybe some people may see it or they may not see what I'm seeing, but I'm looking at his video, and the way this video looks, and just the energy of the artist, right?
Come on, man, you're joking, bro. How the hell you don't know YouTube?
Saturday, I'm all alone. Some say I'm doing too much. I remember we was in cuffs. Knew you only here for the love. These niggas really suck stupid. I'ma just stick to the code. They're like, what if you never go platinum? Fucking I'm still go gold. And if niggas really think I'm that though, try me, I'ma send your ass home. Haven't really run back for their backup. You niggas ain't really no threats.
Right. So when folks are watching this, man, I don't know if you're seeing what I'm seeing, right? I'm seeing an artist that has a certain level of presence in the video, you know, and being able to visually perform the record at a certain level, right? I don't think every artist has this, right? And it may seem very minute to some folks, but to me it's nuanced, right? Is because not everybody has the ability to take their music and to bring it together in a visual sense that kind of has an artistic look to it, because it's using this green tint, and then also just kind of different shots, the beach, him with the kids, you know what I'm saying? So these are the things that we have to look for as people who are, you know, that are surveying talent and are listening for talent and trying to see who's next. Remember, there are very intangible things that may be present that the average person is not looking for, right? And I think what happens for us as producers, for us as artists, you know, we have to start to kind of take an understanding to what are the things that may help to stand out in an already crowded marketplace. So let's take a look at how this video was shot.
Damn, all alone. Some say I'm doing too much. I remember we was in cuffs. Knew you only here for the love. Let me just get in my zone. These niggas really suck stupid. I'ma just stick to the code. They're like, what if you never go platinum?
I think honestly, like there's really something here with this. Now, say what you want to say about the song itself, right? He's on beat, right? His tone is pretty good. He has a decent rap cadence, right? If we can now develop his sound, if we can get his sound to be slightly more melodic, right? Or maybe if we had a record that already had a pre-baked, melodic hook, right? Maybe a sang hook inside of it, and then we take him and put him on there with his animation, the way he looks, and put that artistic value into his next thing. Is it something that can move in the marketplace? Those are the questions that you have to ask yourself. And when you're trying to determine whether or not you want to invest or work with an artist, like these are the things that I think people should be looking at, right? The fact that he has this video done, the fact that this video is looking pretty clean, these are clean shots. I don't know if you guys are noticing that, right? Like these are clean shots. These are things that make a lot of sense, in my opinion. Like this is.
Some M's in a bank. Rather push myself to the brink. Rather do everything that is said that we can't make. Damn. Saturday I'm all alone. Some say I'm doing too much. I remember we was in cuffs. But you only here for the love. These niggas really suck stupid. They're like, what if you never go?
Like I like this. You know what I'm saying? I think that it has a particular cadence to it, and I think that it works. You know what I'm saying? Could the song be arranged a little bit better? Could the hook be a little bit more elaborate? Yeah, the hook could be a little bit more elaborate. I think that's something that can be up to your personal taste. But I really like this aesthetic, and I really like what he's done. In terms of his performance, his presence on this record and this track. I think these things are very, very important in order to ensure that you can stand out in the marketplace. So I'm hoping that artists are taking notes of this, man. Yeah, there's something about having a video, but it's not only just having a video, but actually having a well-produced video. Like this is a well-produced video. Say what you want to say about it. It's literally a well-produced video, right? A little bit on the dark side because of the way that he made the hue, but for the most part, this is a pretty good shot video. Now, I probably would have opted for it to just be straight black and white if you're gonna go with this color. Excuse me, this tint kind of throws a little things, maybe a little bit different on the artistic side because it's like a green tint, right? Or in some cases, if it looks like the cameraman had the right lens, I wonder how this would have looked if it was this regular color, right? If it was this regular color with color correction, even though it was dark, with the right lens, this thing could pop out really well. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live right now. But yeah, I think these things are very important, man. Like, to have good visuals. These things are important. Like in this day and age, how can you make it without it? Shout out Iron Stone in the building. I see y'all. Post Nate, what up? Production. FR, I see you. IBR, what's up? Mara, what's up? Everybody that's jumping into the queue, man. Shout out to everybody that's jumping in. We've had a total of 1,891 songs. That's in the Nero side. Our other queue on the other side for Sound Surge is growing rapidly. Make sure that you guys are checking out Sound Surge. If you're a new artist, make sure you're going to soundsurge.com. This is one of the places where you can get your music to be it's free to join or free to add your music to the charts. This is a new music discovery platform for artists and producers. So I'm hoping that folks are taking advantage of this. Like you got a bunch of songs on here that are really, they're filling up this chart, man. It's gonna be something that I think is gonna be very interesting to watch and to see as time progresses. I'm hoping folks are taking advantage of it. Everything that a new artist can take advantage of for people to discover your music, you should be taking advantage of it. Remember, you're one listener and one placement away or one piece of content away from your life being totally changed. I'm just telling you what I know, right? So the question is, are you going to be in it long enough to win it? That's the question. So this one says hip hop. No, what? Hip hop. Nigdy stop. I'll take what's it, non-stop or whatever that looks like. You know. Don't have me. Sometimes I'll be butchering these names. Oh, this is no longer there. It's gone. Shout out. This joint is called Bull Terrier by Zelka. What's this? Let's take a listen.
We're here for a slow, but a for show. Paso corto, vista larga. Which is short steps, long vision.
A mi prevreli, peto njosh vreli je. I koliki god da zalogaj, grizem bulterije. A se herc sledi saka mladi džonterije. Ko sa black cherry, ko šaki daj belly dance. Prevreli, peto njosh vreli je. I koliki god da zalogaj, grizem bulterije. A se herc sledi saka mladi džonterije. Ko sa black cherry, ko šaki daj belly dance. Svaki vers mi gori, pa pale se senzori. Oko sorry, ja ganjam te mensori. Svaka fentori vida ima njem vodi. Al neću rezini odi, dobro znam gdje to vodi. Traka sviš ko kawaii, sedam da si ti off-white. Sesti magnet za belaje, a lipnuti šuke tajs. Oči joj sjaje, ona kaže da je high.
Jelko's Maisfield.
A mi prevreli, peto njoš vreli je. I koliki god da zalogaj, grizem bulterije. A se herc sledi saka mladi džonterije. Ko sa black cherry, ko šaki daj belly dance. Prevreli.
Listen, I don't know what he's saying, but, you know, remember what I keep telling you guys is like these things kind of transcend, it transcends language, it transcends genre, right? You hear the hook, 4 bars repeat, and he says Bull Terrier, you know, that's the only word we get. That's what it is. What's good, right? So it's like, yo, he started off the record. Small intro, right? We talk about this often for folks who are not really part of our Future Producer Society. This is the stuff that we talk about. He started off the record very set the scene, 4 bars, jumped into a hook, right? The hook is a very simple hook, 4 bars, repeat. And he does that twice to make it 8 bars. He does a verse. He doesn't do a mini bridge in this one. He skips that and goes right back to the hook, right? So by him doing that, it creates a situation where now this song is going to be driven mostly by the hook, which isn't a bad thing. This is what we want. We want the hook to you said what placement I got? Max B, French Montana, Me Too, Max B, Wiz Khalifa, Don't Let Go. What else? Big Pun, Capital Punishment, Prodigy and Nas, Self-Conscious, Jadakiss, a few other folks. Who else? Lloyd Banks, taking notes. Yeah. Max B, Why You Do That? What else? Jadakiss, Realest in the Game. Waka Flocka Flame. The proudest song? Proudest song would probably have to be Prodigy and Nas. Self-Conscious. You know, Prodigy is probably one of my favorite, rappers, and along with Nas, one of my favorite rappers. So you put them both on one song, it's like a dream come true. You know what I mean? So for me, that's probably one of my best ones. Behind Capital Punishment. Or Big Pun, Leatherface, rather. And then I really like Jadakiss joint, Realest in the Game, featuring, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're to have both of your favorite top 5 guys on the, like people ask me what my top 5 is, right? It'd be like Big Pun, it'd be Nas, right? It'd be Jadakiss, it'd be Raekwon, Killer Mike. Right? I've been able to work on my top 5. Now, outside of that, I like Biggie. Outside of that, I like Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to have those kind of. It's crazy to have that kind of impact, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm definitely say I'm fortunate, one of those fortunate guys to have been able to see that's in my career, man. It's like something really different. Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live. Folks, make sure y'all jumping into that sound search. Man, can you tell me about it, man? You know, God can do some great things, man. You know what I'm saying? So this Bull Terrier wasn't too bad. I like the beat, and I like where the vocals was. You know, definitely a little bit catchy. Can't play this audio file. I don't know what this is, so it's not letting me play it, so we're gonna skip that. This gonna be ninjas gonna be ninjas.
N-I-G-G-A N-I niggas gon' be niggas. N-I-G-G-A-N-I niggas gon' be niggas. N-I-G-G-A-N-I niggas gon' be niggas. N-I-G-G-A-N-I niggas gon' be niggas. Ever since God put me on this earth, I was cursed to see the worst. Only thing promised to me was to see a black hearse. I never had a fucking penny, but I still smiled till a nigga got his own, got the rebels running wild. A 5-letter word brothers use every day, simply communicating with the melanated race. If you can't peep game, then get the fuck out, because the rebels finna teach you what a nigga's about. Nigga, ain't just a word, it's a deeper meaning. Don't let no white boy pass you when I'm leaving with your nose bleeding. You Sambo niggas make me sick, but my clique we smash bricks in the back of your shit. Niggas fought and died just to build this land. You repay us by making a group called the Klan. Why you wanna say it anyway? Because I do. If I shot the president, would you do that too? But I was born in the hood. That don't give you excuses. Because you seen a struggle, you think you can use this. I say nigga around blacks and nobody cares. Lost in ignorance, niggas don't know themselves. When I say nigga, I mean it like you my homie. You ain't no nigga. How the fuck you think you know me? So save that and leave the bullshit to the birds. We coming back, giving all the evil shit you deserve. The homie Spice once said a trigger got no heart. A revolutionary nigga been that from the start. Speaking wisdom, which means wise words being spoken. The history.
Hey, we should have got back to the hook by now. Listen, the main thing here, man, is somebody said they thought it was Freddie Gibbs. You know what I always thought? I always thought Freddie Gibbs sounded like Ja Rule to a degree. And I know people would like to be like, I think, yo, why does he just reminds me of Ja Rule when he first came out. You know what I'm saying? Getting into Gibbs. So anyhow, the way that this is going right here, this record kind of has like a older late 90s type of hip hop feel. Definitely too much effects on the vocals. It's not really clean going back and forth because I know what he's trying to do with it in terms of kind of answer back himself in terms of the rhyme cadence, and I think that could have been done a little bit more effectively, a little bit more clean. And then what happens is we have to kind of get out of the 16 bar realm. If we're going to rap this way, right? If we're going to rap this way, which is we're rapping with a different kind of with an older cadence. If we're going to rap this way, you have to do it in smaller doses, right? And you say, well, what do you mean? Can't do long 16 bars with this, right? Like this has to be in and out, right? Because we're already battling the age factor. We're battling that, right? So we have to see if we can make these songs slightly shorter in terms of their verses and then into their hooks, and making sure that the hooks are, a little bit more cohesive in terms of like stacks and ad-libs, and just making sure that this is standing out prominently against the rest of the song. It's when you have a voice like this too, we have to make sure that we're finding music. I got you. If you looking at two different, for example, if you're looking at the way that this song is going, you just have to make sure that you're not putting yourself in a situation where you have you kind of want it to be nostalgia, but you just don't want it to sound like it's old. You follow what I'm saying? So you kind of want it to remind you of what hip hop used to be, but you don't want it to be like you're kind of trapped in a time warp. So there has to be a way to marry those two ideas at the same time. Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live. Iron Stone, you submitted them already? So I could take a listen. Shout out to everybody jumping into the live.
I teach leaves the mental chains broken. Epigenetically, nigga ain't affecting me. But son, we have memories of slavery, oppressed by whites that took nigga in vain. Origin of the word nigga that we gotta reclaim. Consonants of this makes the sound.
I can't tell me they don't sound like Ja Rule.
Moments later transform into the word negus. Romanian, Portuguese, French, and Spain came to the U.S.
Right, so you got like a combination of like Ja Rule, and for those folks who are a little bit older from the Bronx, Just Ice. If y'all remember that. I don't know if y'all remember that. Whew. Telling my age, man. I was like just a kid listening to that. Shout out to everybody in the live, man. Definitely trying to get out, do our thing with this thing. Sound like 9. Remember that? 9 used to have this heater. Remember that? Boom, 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 boom. Remember that one? What you want, 9? Fat clips from a 9. Yeah. Name is up in lights for real. This is beat called Racks. Look at this one. Ooh, that's a weird note right there. That's a weird note right there. Drums are slapping. So listen, he's decided to use a strange, I don't want to say a strange, but an alternate key, the way that he's playing this joint out. The ding, ding, ding. You would expect it to go one direction. He's going into a different direction. And I think that kind of is battling now against the tone or the key of the drum, right? And these drums are smacking. Like, by the way, let's be clear. The drums are smacking. I feel like this piano lift that he has here is working against the rest of his instrumentation. Same thing too. Let's make sure that we're following a decent song format. Yeah, so definitely, like I was saying, man, it's like I just feel like that piano was a little bit, the melody that he chose is a little bit, it doesn't necessarily sit well with me in terms of the way that the rest of the beat is going. I feel like these drums are smacking. I feel like this snare is smacking. We just got to make sure that we have the right type of arrangement, right? With the intro, a hook, a verse, a mini bridge, or a mini verse, and going back into a hook. I think those things are going to be prominent. Those things need to be standout things in order to make this joint really work. Don, yeah, what up? Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live. Shout out to everybody jumping in. This joint is called BLG. by Anna Stone. Shout out to Anna Stone in the building. Project out now. Make sure y'all checking that out. We're taking a listen. Spotify.
Why get mad? I know a bitch look good. Anna Stoney. Let's go. Who get mad when the bitch too fine? A bitch look good. A bitch look good. Same girls hate it, same broke lines. A bitch look good. Whole squad lit and the lights go blind. A bitch look good. Yeah, they can't compete, so they criticize. Bitch look good. Air change, whole vibe shift when the waist swing. No fake deep, no fake boss. Same girls tweeting while they face lost. Heels hit hard like a countdown. Eyes on me when I touch down. Y'all get loud online. Only real life quiet when you actually know me. Too clean, too sharp. Pretty girl glow with a villain heart. Can't Photoshop this pressure. Got some time on this one here. Who get mad when the bitch too fine? A bitch look good. A bitch look good. Same girls hate the same broke lines. A bitch look good. Whole squad lit and the lights go blind. A bitch look good. Can't compete, so they criticize.
Coach K, what up?
Pretty girls don't need validation. Y'all just live for the conversation. Meanwhile, I'm booked, flown out, stay gone. Tight blue jeans with the gold hoops on. They copy looks, I change seasons. That's why these haters ain't got no reason. Face natural, waist dangerous. Talk slick, but can't stand with us. Postura fina, salto no chão. Quando eu desço para a multidão, nem preciso falar meu nome. Toda a cidade já sabe quem sou eu. Olha pra mim, respira fundo. Bonita assim, mexe com o mundo. Se ficou com raiva, paciência. Beleza dessa vira tendência. Who get mad when a bitch do fine? A bitch look good. A bitch look good. Same girls hating, same broke lines. A bitch look good. Whole squad lit and the lights go blind. A bitch look good. Can't compete, so they criticize. A bitch look good. A bitch look good. A bitch look good. Why get mad? Too sharp, pretty girl glow with a villain heart. Can't Photoshop this pressure. Got some time on this one here. Who get mad when the bitch too fine? A bitch look good. A bitch look good. Same girls hate the same broke lines. A bitch look good. Whole squad lit and the lights go blind. A bitch look good. Can't compete, so they criticize. Pretty girls don't need validation. Y'all just live for the conversation. Meanwhile, I'm booked, flown out, stay gone. Tight blue jeans with the gold hoops on. They copy looks, I change seasons. That's why these haters ain't got no reason. Face natural, waist dangerous. Talk slick, but can't stand with us. Postura fina, salto no chão. Quando eu desço para a multidão, nem preciso falar meu nome. Toda a cidade já sabe quem sou eu. Olha pra mim.
The Portuguese is like, that shit is like the icing on the cake, dog.
Vira fundo, bonita assim, mexe com o mundo. Se ficou com raiva, paciência. Beleza dessa vira
That shit just put me in Brazil.
tendência. Who get mad when a bitch do fine? A bitch look good. A bitch look good. Same girls hating, same broke lines. A bitch look good.
I feel like it could be louder, Deuce. Like in my brain, let me look at the fidelity here. My brain feels like it could be
Squad lit and the lights go blind. A bitch look good.
It look like there's a lot of headroom.
Can't compete, so they criticize. A bitch look good. A bitch look good. A bitch look good. A bitch look good. Ooh. Why get mad?
That's Ina Stone. Ina Stone, Bitch Look Good, or BLG. You know, at first I was like, I remember that, you know, and then I heard him like, okay, yeah, Bitch Look Good. Look, I want people to kind of pay attention to like how this record was really kind of structured, and I think that's probably the most important thing about it all is just like looking at how the whole thing is put together in terms of where the hooks are, where the intros are, the verses, etc. Like for folks who are not paying attention, I think you need to pay attention on this type of song structure. It's very, very, very effective. You know what I'm saying? It works very, very effectively in terms of trying to create the right type of musical soundscape or landscape that takes you on the ride. You follow? Like, and I think when we talk about the song structure that I attempt to recommend, it's about setting up a journey with your music. You know, it's about taking the listener on a ride. You know, like really, like, are we taking the listener on a ride? We're taking the listener, you know, going from a place to place, you know, doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, if you don't keep the listener engaged, we can't get the listener to the end of the song. If we can't get the listener to the end of the song, then we can't signal to the algorithm that it's worth sharing. Right? Like, that is the single most indicator for the algorithm right now, is for who watches it all the way to the end. Anybody that can keep the audience of the platform listening to a song or looking at a piece of content all the way to the end, those are the people that win. Those are the people that always get virality and everything in between. So it's for those folks who may be ignoring song structure, I'm encouraging you not to. I'm telling you that this is going to be the way to get you to where you need to go. Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live right now. This is another joint by Ina Stone called Vinyl Sofa. I make music, also produce my own as well. Yeah, we can give the feedback. Just make sure you're submitting, and you know, see what we can see. We can take a listen to that. Ina Stone is doing priority skips on sound Surge, so she's skipping the line. So make sure you're being clear on that. So if you're looking to kind of get listened to while we're live, your best bet is to skip the line while I'm still on. I'm on for maybe just a little bit in between. And we set up a time where we can talk on the phone. Set up a call. I know that we gotta go over some stuff. We're getting ready to jump into that curator side on this, man. I'm trying to tell y'all folks, man, don't miss the boat. All right, Vinyl Sofa. This is gonna be a rough draft as a concept. So if people take a listen to it, let's listen. I want my folks that are jumping into the live, I want you to pay attention to a few things. Pay attention to the intros of the record. Right? Pay close attention to this. Like Ina Stone is going to be one of those artists, and Deuce 9 is going to be one of those producers that understand, you know, the dynamics of how we're supposed to get these records together. So I want folks to kind of pay attention to a few things. Pay attention to how the record starts off. Pay attention to how many bars are in the front before the actual record starts off. Pay attention to if the record starts off with the verse versus the hook, right? If it starts off with a hook, that means that the hook is supposed to be a very, very big hook. If it starts off with a verse, right, that means that the verse has a certain level of vocal performance or dynamics that's supposed to be strong enough to keep the listener all the way through to the hook, right? So let's pay attention to those things and let's go.
Vinyl sofas. Vinyl sofas. Something about the way you stare. Vinyl sofas got me breathing different air. Come a little closer, I can feel you getting bold. Vinyl sofas. sofas, baby, take it nice and slow. You haven't touched me where I want, still I feel you everywhere. That little part.
What time signature is this, bro?
Vinyl sofas.
Yeah, we know.
Vinyl sofas. Something about the way you stare. Vinyl sofas got me breathing different air. Come a little closer, I can feel you getting bold. Vinyl sofas, baby, take it nice and slow. You haven't touched me where I want, still I feel you everywhere. That little pause before you speak tells me what you wouldn't dare. I let my heel fall from my foot, you watched it hit the floor. I didn't have to say a word, you knew exactly what that was for. Take your time with me tonight, I don't want the easy part. Make me wonder what comes next before you ever even start. Vinyl sofas.
Folks, yes, this is an AI artist now. You know, this is something that we work on over here with some of our folks. We work with the AI artists. We work with the producers that are working on AI. Remember, I'm a proponent for AI being used by producers effectively, right? You take the AI, use it as a tool to get yourself to better production, better songwriting, to open up opportunities, and also to showcase your opportunities and get yourself to where you need to go in terms of that. So he submitted this record as a rough draft for us to kind of work through it, right? So this is one of those things. So let's give it let's give it what we need to give it in terms of listening to it the correct way, and let's find out where we can actually take it to improve it, and to see where the opportunities may or may not be.
Something about the way you stare. Vinyl sofas got me breathing different air. Come a little closer, I can feel you getting bold. Vinyl sofas, baby, take it nice and slow. Now the record's on its second side, and neither one of us has moved. Your fingers tracing little circles like you've got something to prove.
See, this part of the record now is right on the right time signature. The time signature that we were on before is kind of going like a 1 2 3 1 2 3, but it's kind of 1 2 3 4. You know what I mean? It's like we kind of got to make sure that we're finding where we need to land, because what can happen is we can create listener confusion, right? Because we don't know where the groove is, right? So we want to listen to we're listening to us. We're like, damn, this music sounds really good, and damn, this vocal sounds really pretty, but for some strange reason, it's not aligning, and it's leaving us to be somewhat confused or somewhat lost. So we have to see if we can work toward getting it over here in this part of the record that has, you know, a better time signature in the way that it's flowing.
I lean back into the leather, let you think you're in control, but every inch I give you closer is an inch I chose to let you know. Don't confuse me being still with me not knowing what you do. I just like to watch you lose it, thinking I'm losing it with you. Vinyl sofas, something about the way you stare. Vinyl sofas got me breathing different air. Come on.
This sounds over here. This sounds really good.
A little closer, I can feel
Like the way that these drums are together and the way that this joint is moving.
you getting bold. Vinyl sofas, baby, take it nice and slow. Vinyl sofas, something about the way you stare. Vinyl sofas got me breathing different air.
Take this take this hook iteration and make this go out throughout. This hook iteration is tough.
Oh, so fast, baby. Take it nice and slow. Something about the way you stare. Got me breathing different air. Come a little closer. I can feel you getting bold. Final so fast, baby. Take it nice and slow. Final so fast.
You're a producer. Make sure you're jumping into our school community. Shout out to Deuce 9. Listen, shout out to Deuce 9 on the track. Right? Let me tell y'all something about Deuce 9 on the track, because he's definitely one of these guys that know how to use this AI thing. Do not fold, okay? So what I would say with this joint, bro, is the second half of this is solid. The first half of it is because it's sliding in between. Yeah, because it's sliding in between time signatures. It's doing something real wild. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I would encourage guys to do this, and I know some folks may not realize that they can actually do this. But say, for example, we're using a Suno, right? And Suno was playing something, and Suno was telling you that it's a certain BPM. Sometimes you might want to play it with your DAW, with your metronome, to make sure that it stays online, right? Or you might want to export a portion of it and see how easy it is to loop it. Because what happens is that if you export a portion of it and you can't seem to get it looped properly, then you kind of know that it's doing the funky kind of a funky time signature. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where you kind of got to play with it. If you guys remember the earlier versions of Suno, that joint used to go slow down, speed up, slow down, speed up. You know what I'm saying? And it used to do this real funky thing where it made it almost impossible to loop it as it was. You'd have to always go in, and you had to kind of chop it up to make it go. Shout out to Silent Stoner in the building, Kaz in the building. You know what I'm saying? Man, we here, bro. We making it do what we do, man. We just listened to these two dope Iron and Stone joints. So what I would say is, like, you know, the instrumentation too on the second half of this Deuce, definitely start taking a catalog in terms of like this percussion, the kicks and the snares and the stuff that the output is outputting. You know what I'm saying? Like these are very, very, very because sometimes for me, I might take certain types of drums and I might put them back into the system to make sure that those are kind of folded into the system and kind of incorporated in the output slightly. So when you get certain types of kicks and snares and drums and certain patterns, you definitely want to make sure that you're capturing those and putting those aside so that you can use them for future use. Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live, man. We're trying to get it done. For those folks who have not joined our Future Producer Society, make sure you do that at theschool.com/Future Producer Society. We're teaching the music business and everything in between. Music production, everything in between, man. Make sure y'all paying attention. I want folks to also, I have to drop something inside of the group as it relates to the new YouTube rules. The new YouTube rules are coming. And for folks who have not taken the chance to monetize their channels, you only got a few months left before you can be grandfathered into the old way, or you're going to have to be stuck with the new way. And the new way is everything is double, right? Instead of 4,000 watch hours, it's 8,000. It's not impossible, but it's fucking hard, right? And then 20 million short views. Now that, to me, seems more impossible than the 8,000 watch hours, right? So, I'm encouraging everybody who's on YouTube. I'm going to drop something inside of the portal so that give guys some strategies on how they can get it done. In my opinion, the best way to get to the watch hours is long form content. You know what I'm saying? And long form content might look like this, might be a live stream, you know. And you got to find a cadence, you know, once a week, twice a week, and then you got to chop stuff up. So you got to do a long form, and then you got to have an apparatus to put it into short form, and then you're going to have to basically have a posting schedule. That's the only way to get your subscribers up. That's the only way to get your situation to move. Hopefully your content is good enough. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully people are resonating with you. If people are rocking with you, then, you know, especially if you have a live stream that you feel that folks are rocking with you, don't try to get yourself into the ability to stream on multiple platforms. Try not to relegate yourself to just one platform so that you can kind of grow these things concurrently. I think sometimes what happens is we kind of get caught up in the fact that one platform might have certain features and that we might be able to do certain things with certain people, but we may be missing an opportunity to grow on another platform. Because what I have seen is that platforms may take off. So say, for example, TikTok might take off, but then they'll throttle you. As you get to say halfway toward monetization, all of a sudden you hit a plateau. And that to me is by design, because they want to slow down anything that's going to get you to monetization. Right now, YouTube is extremely slow. What's taking off for a lot of folks right now is IG, which is, I hate to believe it, but that's what's happening. And Facebook. Facebook is probably opening up folks to more new audiences than I've ever seen in my 10, 15 years being on the platform. I'll say 15 years being on the platform. So it says, does it steal sample styles from organic artists? I think AI is going to be trained on things that are already kind of public domain, trained on things that are already kind of royalty free, right? Stray Do. You have to think about it like this, right? Say for example, I have I'm creating an AI bot or whatever it may be, and I've gone out and I've collected hundreds of samples or thousands or millions of samples and loops. If you go to a place like Splice, royalty-free samples, royalty-free loops, royalty-free drums, royalty-free sounds, everything. And you have to realize, if we were able to go to a platform like Splice, prior to them changing their terms of service saying that you can't use those things to train AI, right? Because that wasn't necessarily a thing. Right? If we can use those things royalty free, so if I can take those things and I can sample them and I can use them to make new creations, what's the difference of putting into AI? If I can sample a song and I can use, say, a Steely Dan's record and say, hey, if it wasn't for the Bronx, you know, the rap shit probably wouldn't be going on, and they could take 100% of the publishing because you sampled them, even though you added your own vocal to it, right? People would say that's stealing, right? But no, that's called sampling. So it's kind of the same thing when we're talking about dealing with AI. Now, granted, it may take a certain iteration of something and it may not be absolutely the same, but it does create a derivative, right? So now the question is, depending on where you got it from, if you got it from a royalty-free source, you know, that's not considered stealing. That's considered actually using it in that type of way. And organic artists steal from other artists, right? They call it influencing, right? Shout out to Anna Stone, right? Because some folks would say, "Hey, D'Angelo sounded like Prince," right? Or Prince sounded like Rick James, or the Mary Jane girl sounded like Vanity Six, right? I think I believe that, but what we're trying to contend to is that, you know, take a situation like Pharrell, T.I., and what's the other guy's name? With the Blurred Lines verdict, right? The Marvin Gaye estate sued them, said they took the music, right? They said that it's original music, but it was inspired by Marvin Gaye, right? So, you know, they wound up winning that. You see what I'm saying? So even in the case where it's not AI, folks are still drawing from artists. They always do. You know what I'm saying? They always do. That's always been a thing. People are always going to be influenced by the things that they listen to most. I think it's just gets a bad rap because it's now being done, digitally, or being done at a quicker pace because it's AI. You know what I mean? Folks may be AI and just against AI because it's AI. Not realizing that it's just another tool for us to use. Now, can it be abused? Absolutely. But the key here is for us is to kind of create those frameworks. It's the same thing they said to us about sampling in the 90s. We had to, they had to find ways to create sample clearances. That's why they created a whole new industry from that. Find out how people get their publishing, and they created new revenue streams for people whose music didn't have any way of getting out. Sampling created a whole new revenue stream. I think what's supposed to happen is people are supposed to fractionalize the records that are being used for AI, right? Like how you would tokenize, rather. Like how you would do a Bitcoin or an Ethereum. You tokenize a portion of it, and it becomes something that lives on a blockchain, and it always gives the original creator, something. You know what I mean? So if we can get to that place, it's gonna be really good. How can they go on stage and perform? They can go on stage and perform like you would do an IMAX theater. You know what I'm saying? You would create a bunch of videos. You would create a bunch of interactive things. You put the AI artist in the middle of the screen. You put dancers on the sides, and you create a show around, the images, a show around the spectacle of it all. You have to change the definition of what that looks like in terms of a tour and a show. I think it would be more of a movie than anything else. That's what they wanted to do. They wanted to do it all by themselves, but people pushed back on it. That's the only thing that you're seeing, really, is the labels. The labels wanted to do that without signing anybody. That's what the labels wanted. It's just that it didn't get adopted the way they thought it would. That's what the labels wanted. The labels wanted it to be that way. The labels wanted it so that they didn't have to sign any more artists. If you don't think that was the play, that was the play. The play was to make sure that they didn't have to sign any more artists. It's just that they realized that they couldn't control the outputs of it, that people were making it faster than they could, and people were basically diluting the record pools, so they had to slow it all down. So they're going to slow it down until they get to the point where they can find a way to control it. Just think of it like Napster and MP3s, So, it is what it is. Watch it. Did you submit it? Make sure you submit it and make sure you put it through as a skip so we can skip the line. Yeah, they're going to look to control it. That's what it's really all about. Why would Spotify want to remove over 70 songs made by AI? Because it dilutes the record pool. It's remember what's happening with Spotify. Spotify works on a royalty. It works on a pool system. So it takes all of the royalties, it puts it in a pool, and then what happens is just distributed to the top artists in that pool. You follow? But if you add too many songs into the pool, it makes the payout to individual artists and labels smaller. So they got to get those songs out, because those songs are basically they're taking away from the catalog sales or the catalog royalties of the labels. That's really drives their platforms. If you think about it, you got a whole bunch of songs that are trying to contribute into the royalty pool from bots, and then the legacy stuff now is going to get less of a payout. And what they're concerned of is that UMG and these other labels say, okay, you know what? If you can't control the bots and you're messing up the royalty pool, we're going to pull the licenses to our music. AI artists are going to be insignificant compared to organic artists as of right now. Yes. Right now, it's the wild, wild west. Right. It's up to you as a creator. And I think this is what we don't give folks enough credit for. It's up to us as creators is to find ways to exploit our IP, exploit our masters, exploit our intellectual property. We have to find ways to do that. And the key here is to find ways to exploit it before everybody else can jump on the bandwagon. Right? So these are the things that really become the overarching issue is you have a bunch of music. How do you exploit it? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, how do you exploit it before everybody else figures it out? You know what I'm saying? And that's what you see folks doing. Folks are rushing to put out songs and they're trying to exploit it before everybody figures it out. You know? And a lot of times it's like a gold rush, right? If you was the first set of people that got into Bitcoin, who won? Now, I don't think folks are really, I think folks are just trying to understand where it's going. You know what I'm saying, dudes? It's like folks are trying to figure out like what makes sense in today's marketplace and what's really, you know, what's really going to make, what's going to push the needle forward and stuff like that. And in the event, I'm about to get out of here. Real talk. Everybody want to do it one way. There's different ways to do it. I want to thank everybody for jumping into the live tonight. Shout out to all the artists that are jumping onto SoundSurge, submitting your music on SoundSurge. Like, this is the way. If you haven't already done so, make sure you're getting that music out on SoundSurge, man. Kaz, we're here as always, man. We're getting it done. Shout out to all the new followers. I appreciate you all, man. Be safe. Peace.